Hello, I am Wendy Schuchart. I am editor-in-chief of itprotoday.com and datacenterknowledge.com. I am joining you live from the show floor, right outside the show floor of Data Center World here in Washington, D.C. And today I am joined by Iman Anvari. He is the Director of Product Management for Seagate Systems and Solutions Portfolio. He has more than a decade of experience in large-scale storage design and has been leading the product teams to deliver innovative IT solutions, solving business problems for large enterprise and cloud customers. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Wendy. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
Have you been enjoying the conference so far?
Oh, it's been great. The sessions have been amazing. Just talking to different people from different parts of the industry. So fascinating. Just a great learning experience.
People
for me.
from all over the globe join us, so it's
Absolutely.
been fantastic to hear about different use cases as we've been talking to people. Can
That's
you
right.
talk to me? One of the things that common threads that has been on everybody's minds, whether in the sessions or even in the keynotes, is sustainability. Can you talk to me a little bit about how you're driving sustainability and circularity at Seagate?
Absolutely, yeah. Sustainability is really top of the mind for us, and I would say for everybody here, right? Every session you go to, it's a big deal and everybody talks about it. Now, when we think about sustainability in the storage industry, first we have to look at how a hard drive or a storage device is consumed, which is pretty fascinating. Usually a hard drive or SSD or whatever a storage device is purchased, deployed, and usually, it's maybe not often, it goes through its life cycle, and then at the end of the life cycle, it gets disposed. Now, disposal matters, right? So,
Absolutely.
During that time frame, most of our customers are very conservative. They're conservative about data security, about perception of the public eye. So, a lot of times, these drives get shredded at the end of its life cycle, which is crazy, and it just produces a lot of e-waste. So for us to approach sustainability, we actually have a multi-pronged approach to that. So we look at the cycle and we tell ourselves, how do we break it? How do we make this better? So there are actually three areas that we focus at Seagate to deliver a sustainable storage industry as a whole. The first step is our circularity program. So we want to give every device out there a second life, so that it can actually come back to us, go through refurbishment, material extraction, and we are able to basically get that back to the market as a new drive, as a new storage device, right? And get a new life to it. So that's really the first step for us. But if you think about it, and I'll give you some stats if you don't mind.
Oh, I love stats, all the stats.
There you go. In fiscal year 22, I think we repurposed almost 1 million devices.
Wow.
Through this process, which is a big number, right?
That's like a landfill.
It is. But when you put that in comparison to our biggest consumers, it's still not a big number.
Right.
So we need to change the mindset. And that's what we call our mindset approach. There's this mindset of conservative data destruction, that we can't send this back to Seagate. We can't really trust Seagate, for example, with our users' data. Now, what we have done over the past few years has been focusing on innovating on encryption technology. Now, with encryption, what we can do, we can offer certified data erasure processes, right? So you can send a drive back to Seagate, and we can certify that all the data has been removed from this device, and give you a piece of paper that actually kind of attests to that, right? So we want to change the mindset, make all of our consumers, customers, trust Seagate more with this process, so we can actually get more drives, more devices back into the circularity program. So that's kind of like the second vector, if you will, that we focus on. And then the third one, which is kind of fascinating, I'm going to ramble a little bit. I'm a nerd, so.
Nerd party of two.
There you go. Yeah, I think this is the right place to nerd out, right? So the third part for us is really technology. So when you think about sustainability, there are different ways to approach it. One of the interesting ways to do that is just to extend the life of a drive and reduce service calls. It sounds simple.
Yeah,
right?
It does sound simple, but yet we aren't.
That's right. So actually over the past few years, we have developed a lot of technology and features. One, we call it autonomous drive regeneration.
Okay.
ADR. And it's quite fascinating. What it means is that we can actually handle certain failures within the drive gracefully and keep it in service. So you can have a failed platter in a drive, but you don't actually have to change that drive. We automatically bring that back up as a smaller drive, and it can have a life on its own without any intervention.
Wow. Okay.
So when you put that all together, you can see you can reduce the e-waste, you could extend the life of a drive, you could reduce service calls. So overall, a storage environment becomes more sustainable. So those are really the areas we focus. We're innovating along those vectors, and we're hoping that with each generation, we push this further and further so that the overall storage industry is way more sustainable than it is today.
So we were talking a little bit about Mosaic 3 Plus. Is that what you're describing right now?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And what do you see in the future I can see so many possible implications of this technology, but what are you specifically driving toward?
So with Mosaic, Mosaic 3 basically is kind of our unique implementation of a lot of technologies. It's actually been in research and development for almost 25 years.
Yeah.
Which takes a lot of dedication for a company, right?
That's like centuries in technology land.
That's right. That's right. And you have to convince everybody that this is the right path, right? It's really hard. Really, Seagate has been putting a lot of eggs in this basket, doing R&D, and now we have this platform that can deliver a cutting-edge total cost of ownership. But not only that, I would say one of the most important areas that we see is the power consumption.
Right.
So obviously, every session you go,
we're all talking about it.
Power consumption.
Power,
right?
power.
AI data centers are growing. You have that
exponentially.
Exponentially, that's right. And they're consuming more power every day. So the power is going to become a limit. So for us, we have to focus on improving power. And the way we do that, so in the storage industry, the way we measure power is power per terabyte. It's a normalized basically measure for the power consumption. When you look at 1 terabyte of data deployed, right, how much power is consumed.
Right.
And it's fascinating. Actually, yesterday I was going through some back of the napkin math and comparing a 16 terabyte drive, which is our old generation of the drive, but it's widely deployed.
Right.
And compare that to Mosaic 3, which gets us to 30 terabyte drives. And I was doing the math, and we see almost more than 45% of reduction in power per terabyte.
Wow.
And that translates to, I think, what was it, $30 million of saving per year.
I was just trying to do that math, too. That's crazy.
It's such a big number, right? And not only that, it's the other part of it, which was even more interesting, is that 55% of the embodied carbon footprint reduction. So between going from one generation of 16 terabyte to the 30 terabyte Mosaic 3, you have that 55% reduction per terabyte. So not only you're reducing your power footprint, your carbon footprint, but also you're getting better TCO. And that's really the trajectory that we're trying to push in the storage industry.
And potentially keeping things out of the landfill as well, which
Absolutely.
is also fantastically green.
Exactly.
This is incredible, and you should be very proud of the work you've been doing for decades.
Yes, kudos to all the engineers. I didn't do much, but everybody who was behind that.
The whole team.
The whole team. Amazing job.
So
really.
if our readers are interested in finding out more, they can contact you.
Absolutely.
Iman, thank you. This has been just absolutely enlightening, and thank you so much for joining us here at
Thanks
Data
for
Center
having
Knowledge.
me. I really appreciate your time.
It's been great to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you all, and have a great day.